The quantum field responds not to what we want, it responds to who we are being. Dr. Joe Dispenza. If this touched you, like, subscribe, and share. Stay with us. The real journey begins now. You're not just influencing reality, you're already participating in it. Not in the future, not someday, right now. You might think manifestation is for those who know how, for those who can concentrate, visualize, meditate for hours. You might think that to affect reality, you need to become someone special. But Dr. Joe Dispenza says otherwise. He says, you're already doing it. You think it will all begin later when you're ready, when you have a spiritual awakening, when the stars finally align. But the truth is, you're already in it. You're not at the beginning. You're in motion. You're already changing. You're already in the quantum flow. You're already thinking thoughts that create new choices. You're already feeling emotions that shape your energy field. You're already focusing your attention, which means you're already shifting the outcome. We wait for a miracle, not realizing it already started long ago. Every thought you have is a wave. Every emotion, a vibration. Every inner state, a signal sent into the field. The question isn't whether you can manifest. The question is, do you realize you already are? Every day, every minute. You're not on the edge of transformation. You're at the heart of it. And if you keep living like yesterday, you'll keep getting the same results. Not because life is just like that, but because you are wired to repeat what's familiar. Reality doesn't wait. It responds. Not loudly, but precisely. It's already mirroring you. You are the signal. You are the sound. You're not just watching reality. You're interacting with it. You're already creating. You just haven't called it your creation yet. In the world of particles, there are no solid boundaries. Everything is energy. Everything is probability. Every object is not a thing, but a field of possibilities. A particle, before it's observed, exists only as a wave. It's not fixed. It's not determined. It exists as many possible outcomes all at once. There is a field. There are infinite options. And before you look, everything remains in pure potential. But the moment you observe, you activate one of those outcomes. Your focus collapses the wave into a particle. That moment, when a possibility becomes a reality, that's quantum manifestation. This isn't mysticism. This is physics, just a newer kind. You're not just reacting, you're choosing. You're not just dreaming, you're sending a signal. Every thought is a code. Every emotion, energy, and together they're instructions to the universe. The issue is, most people send signals unconsciously, but you can do it differently. You can observe with awareness, feel with intention, think with presence. And then the field begins to shift toward you, in resonance with you, because you are part of it. But what does it mean to observe? It's not just looking with your eyes. It's attention combined with meaning. It's focus, expectation, interpretation. When you think about something constantly, you're already observing it. When you're emotionally involved, you're influencing it even more. You don't create what you want. You create what you consistently focus on. That's why Dr. Joe Dispenza says, reality isn't what's happening. It's what you keep energizing with your attention, over and over until it takes form. Dr. Joe Dispenza says, if you want to change your reality, you have to become someone else. Be the cause, not the effect. This isn't just philosophy. This is quantum physics intertwined with human intention. He teaches, if you want a new reality, you must become a new version of yourself. Don't wait for life to change. Change your internal field. Your body responds to emotion. Your brain shapes a signature, and your energy creates interaction with the field. You're already connected. You're already merging. You're already creating. You just haven't noticed it yet. Dr. Joe Dispenza doesn't just talk about manifestation. He talks about shifting consciousness from the past into possibility. Most people live anchored to memory, to what has already happened, to the known, the predictable, the familiar. And every day, they repeat yesterday's thoughts, feel yesterday's emotions, and recreate the same outcomes. But Dispenza teaches, you don't have to be a result of the past. You can become the cause of the future. And it all begins with your inner state, not your environment, not the circumstances, but your internal signature. Your body holds emotional memory. It remembers how to be anxious, how to wait, how to brace for pain. And if you don't change that state, your body will keep projecting the same wave. But if you choose a new feeling, gratitude, love, inspiration, even if it doesn't feel natural at first, even if it feels like you're faking it, like you're just acting, you're still changing the field. You're creating a new one, because your brain starts wiring new combinations. Your body learns a new chemistry, and your energy begins vibrating on a new frequency. You become a new signal in the quantum space. You're no longer the result. You're the variable. You're the cause. You are conscious energy in motion. You're not going to start manifesting someday. You're already doing it right now. While you watch this video, while you think about yourself, while you feel anything, every emotion is a signal, every thought, a movement, every belief, a filter through which you project the world. If you feel fear, your perception system starts scanning for threats. You don't see the world as it is. You see it as a reflection of your anxiety. You notice what feels dangerous and overlook what's safe. That's how your inner filter works. And the field reads that signal. It adjusts. It amplifies the frequency you're sending. Not because it's cruel, but because it's precise. Not because you're wrong, but because the field is neutral. It simply reflects. You don't create reality with stories. You create it through your frequency. If you don't believe, you block the flow. You don't open the door to what's ready to arrive. Even if the universe is already knocking, even if the opportunity is right there, doubt is like a shield. It doesn't just protect, it isolates. And the field can't find a way in. If you're angry, you're generating tension. But energy doesn't move in tension. It contracts, it fractures, it resists. Anger can be a spark, but if it becomes your background noise, you're building your life on conflict. And the world reflects that with resistance. Manifestation isn't a one-time act. It's a state of being, a constant process, like breath, like heartbeat, like gravity. You're already influencing the field. The only question is, what are you creating from? From fear or from trust? Dispenza's key formula is simple. Focus plus emotion equals a new signature. And when used consciously, it changes everything. When you combine attention with inspiration, you create a new frequency. And that frequency becomes your signal to the universe. It's not just the thoughts you think, it's the energy behind them that speaks the loudest. You can think positively all day, But if underneath there's anxiety or doubt, the world will hear the anxiety. Because energy is the language of the universe, focus is like a beam of light. It highlights what you find important. It energizes. It activates. But without emotion, it's just light. Emotion turns it into power. When you fuse focus with feeling, you send a powerful broadcast. And the field hears it. This isn't visualization. It's a state. It's your internal signature. It's your unique code, like a radio signal that says, "This is who I've become." And the field begins to mirror that back, not instantly, but inevitably. And yes, this code can show up in many ways, sometimes through numbers, the vibrational pattern of your birth date, sometimes through the sky, a birth chart that reflects the rhythm of your soul, sometimes through your body's centers, through the way you breathe, think, and move. But the most accurate map comes from the feeling you truly live, not what you're told to feel, not what's right, but what's real, what's alive. You're not just imagining a new future, you're teaching your body how to feel it in the present. And that's what begins manifestation. That's where it truly starts. You can trick your mind, but you can't trick energy. The universe always responds to what you actually feel. That's why the key isn't just to think positive. The key is to embody a new reality within. That's how you become it. And the field begins to reflect it. Not because you earned it, but because you matched it with the frequency of what you desire. You don't need to wait for enlightenment. You're already on the path. All you need is to shift your attention. You don't need permission. You don't need a teacher. You're already standing in a field of power. Every state you're in is a signal sent out. You're either repeating the old or creating something new. Even when you're simply living, you're already influencing reality. With every thought, every emotion, every inner decision, to open or to close, to accept or to reject. You're already in the flow. You just haven't believed yet that you're steering it. But what if you don't know what you're supposed to match? What if it's foggy inside? What if you can't hear your own signal? Sometimes we need someone else, someone who's already resonating, not someone who teaches, but someone who transmits, whose presence is a tuning fork, who doesn't tell you who you are, but helps you remember. You can feel them, in a book, in a voice, in a glance, sometimes even in a video. If something stirs inside you, that is the meeting. But know this, the true path doesn't start with them. It starts with your willingness to finally listen. Flow isn't some rare state. It's your natural way of being when you stop resisting, when you allow yourself to exist fully. You're not a random spark of consciousness. You are a wave in which the universe recognizes itself. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be ready. You already are. And whatever you feel with truth, it's already echoing into the field. The inner shift, that's what sparks outer change. Not a dramatic event, but you, your readiness, your frequency, your new stillness. You don't need to get it right. You just need to be yourself, your truest version. And then the field will respond with a mirror made of love, a confirmation. You are reality in motion, in light, in this present moment. You're already manifesting. Now do it with love.